Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Path of Exile, the Fall of Oriath. Today we're going to be doing the normal first iteration of the Labyrinth, and then we're going to be going into Act 5 and finishing that off. Before we do that, I'm going to give you guys an update as to what's changed with my character. I'm just going to go over all the different items I have before the lab so you guys can see what equipment I'm going to be using. I found this sword, I don't know if I showed that last time, but pretty good physical damage, attack speed, strength, all the good stuff on there. Life gained on hit for each enemy hit by attack, so that's just great. I'm using Hatred and faster attack support just to level it up. It looks really stupid like that, but that's just because my gems are just all over the place, so I apologize. These gloves I thought were pretty good for the max health and attack speed, and health regen is always good. This is my iron ring. I think you've seen this one before. And my chest piece hasn't changed. My sash really needs an upgrade, but I haven't changed it in quite some time. I found these boots which have chaos resistance, health, movement speed on them, which is always great, so I thought these were pretty good boots. And I'm using Herald of Ash with Summon Stone Golem just because I have a golem now from doing the little part of Act 5 there. I found this ring, which I thought was just great. I had attack speed ring before this one, but this one has like 61 health altogether, mana regen, radius, mana, cold damage. It just seemed pretty awesome to me, and I needed the health, so I'm using it. I only have about 1,000 health right now, but it's okay for the level I'm at. And I'm using this neck still for the intelligence, and then I got this helm just for the health and a little bit of resistance on it. Just got fire damage in here just to level it up, just trying to level up some other gems I might be using in the future. And I have this axe for the physical damage and attack speed. It's pretty decent. I have maim support with fortify and whirling blades, so I can whirl through things, fortify off them, and maim them, which gives my other stuff more damage on them to begin with, so it just seemed like a good combo. I'm probably going to try using Charge Dash again later in the future, but for now I thought I'd stick with whirling blades just because I'm more familiar with it and I really enjoy using it. Also, at some point in my doing the Labyrinth trials, I discovered an item here. If I can find it for you guys, there we go, Calm's Roots Titan Greaves. So these seem pretty decent, but maybe not for my character because Unwavering Stance makes you immune to stun, but you also have 0 evasion rating if you go with that. So that would just completely nullify basically all my evasion defenses, which a lot of the stuff as a ranger is based on evasion. So probably not going to use those in the future, but if it turns out that those will be a better option for me later on, because it's level 68 required for those in a lot of strength, we may think about that in the future. But for now, that's just going to sit in my bank and we'll hold on to it. And for my passive skills, I wasn't quite sure what to do with my skills last time, so I did spend some time thinking about it, and I've gone down here, kind of if you watched my Turmoil race, this is similar to the build that I did for that race, and I've taken the Vitality Void node, and I'm going to take this one here and then go down and probably over to Cloth and Chain to get those resistances, as well as taking the dual wield little circle here, because that's just like a lot of damage. And I might take this side, I'm still thinking about it, because it gives me the block chance, which I'm still not 100% certain on if I should go with block or go with the acrobatics and phase acrobatics over here to get the dodging. So I'm still trying to debate which side would be better. I'm probably just going to try out the blocking and see how it goes, and if it ends up too weak, then we'll switch back to the dodging and try some different stuff. So I'm really just open to trying out some different ideas this time for this character. But for now, we're going to jump into the Aspirant's Plaza and take on the normal Labyrinth. I've decided that I am going to be doing a Raider. I'm not going to be doing a Pathfinder because I don't really know how the Pathfinder playstyle really works yet. I haven't gotten that involved into Path of Exile to really figure out flasks yet. And you know, it definitely looks strong from my little glance at the wiki, taking out or checking out all the different flask bonuses you can get and stuff. But for now, we're going to stick with Raider and just roll with that. So we got our Stone Golem here for the taunt and for the health regen that he provides, just to make me a little bit tankier there. Labyrinth activation device. Okay. So I guess we get to choose which labyrinth we want to activate. That's pretty cool. So there's 4 altogether, and hopefully we can... So it kind of gives you like a little level range for them too. So I'm level 33 for this one, and I'm level 36. So I'm a little stronger than required for this labyrinth. But because my resistances are a little low, I do feel like it's kind of balanced out for difficulty for my character. Because the different gear changes that I've had to make have resulted in my resistances coming significantly down from what they were. They were about like 40 to 60 before, and now they're about like 20 to 40. So they're not great, but we do have some chaos resistance, so hopefully Izaro won't just dunk me with that one ability that usually takes me out. I think it's the one where he shoots a whole bunch of orbs or projectiles into one spot. But yeah, let's just get rolling here. I'm hoping to get a much better setup for Whirling Blades where it'll have faster attacks on it so that I can just whirl through things a little bit faster. But for now, we're just going to stick with the usual strategy of spam Quicksilver Flasks and just run through everything. I don't think there's a lot of reason for me to stick around and fight a lot of the enemies in the Labyrinth here, especially the normal one, just because, you know, taking time to fight enemies is just inviting opportunities to get killed by something. Oh man, having a little weird stuck lag there. I seem to get that pretty often when I kind of run past corners a little quicker than possibly I'm supposed to. Yeah, just dropping that maim and the Fortify at the same time has been pretty awesome. I used to be pretty squishy when I was doing Act 5, and then when I put Fortify support on Whirling Blades and started really using it, I noticed that a lot of the things that were killing me before, I want this sword, jeez. A lot of the things that were doing a lot of damage to me suddenly stopped dealing so much damage, so that's pretty awesome. And having the maim support means that I can dash through things. Unbound Ailments, I haven't seen that one before. We're going to take that just to check it out later. But yeah, having the maim support on Whirling Blades allows me to debuff my enemies as well as buff myself. Oh, we just go straight to the next trial here. So they did reduce the amount of rooms in the Aspirants trial, so this might be a lot faster than otherwise previously, because it used to take me like, you know, up to an hour and a half to do a single run through the Labyrinth, so hopefully this will be a lot faster. We're already jumping into our first Izaro fight here. We still have to fight him 3 times, which isn't that bad, but we don't have to go through nearly as much running around as we used to. So we have a portal here. Do I have to kill this portal right off the bat? Yeah, let's dunk it down a little bit just to make sure we don't deal with any shenanigans I can't deal with. And see, he does hit me, like, when he does hit me, it's for about, you know, a third to half of my health, which is significant in my opinion. And I'm just going to stand here and keep bonking on him. Actually, you know what? Their portals are coming up. That's the attack right there that just hit me, that generally can deal quite a bit of damage to me. But my regen seems to be able to handle the amount of damage I'm taking, and hopefully he just doesn't hit me with anything too absurd. Let's take out this other portal, because in one of the times that I did fight him, one of these portals was left up, but it did make the fight a little bit more difficult than I would have liked at that point. So we'll just make sure we take all them out, and he should be just about done. Let's get my Fortify and maim up, and yeah, looks like he's done for now. So dash through these guys, and I think I lost my Golem at some point during this fight as well. He probably isn't nearly as tanky as I am, because I don't have any minion health support for him or anything at this point. So my gear is, I feel like my gear is pretty good in terms of like what the items do themselves, but the sockets on them and the socket colors are just terrible. It's just not a good setup right now. So we have 2 options to take from this path, so we're just going to hope that we get the right one right off the bat. Oh my gosh, I'm still getting stuck on all these guys. I'm gonna bonk them so I can get out of their way. And or maybe just make better, more liberal use of Whirling Blades to dash through my enemies instead of getting stuck on them. Oh, what's that thing? It's on the other side of this door here. Oh, this is one of these puzzles where you have to stand within this thing for a certain amount of time. Let's, I don't have my Golem with me, so I'm actually going to summon him again so we can make sure he comes up here and helps me out here. So I don't know what we'll get for this. Maybe this will unlock a Dark Shrine or something for us. So let's keep on the move here. I don't mind these little puzzles so much when it's not a terrible enemy type that's spawning, but sometimes you get like Devourers, and they can just be complete nightmares. They'll just spawn on the sides and just pelt you with damage, and because they're ranged, they'll just like hide off onto the sides, and you can't really go and deal with them without letting the thing fall backwards. You take a little bit of damage there from one of the traps, I think, so I gotta be a little careful. And yeah. So that's the plan. We're just going to get through this. In Act 5, I'm already at the Dreams. I just went ahead and did everything up to that point off screen, just because it's not too terribly exciting, but the Dreams are pretty cool. So we'll run through the Dreams, and then we'll go and deal with Malachai's dungeon, and then we'll deal with Malachai. And then we're into the new stuff, which is super exciting. Oh, we got a curious lockbox here. Let's see. Oh, we got a treasure key. Okay, well that was totally worth it. I wasn't expecting this to be the result of that trap right there. Or that little puzzle thing. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, what do we got here? A desk blade, that's pretty nice, and a gilded axe. Oh, my gems all leveled up. It must be because I'm putting all these new gems on, so everything's getting tons of experience from running through these areas. They're all like level 1 gems and stuff like that. We have a shrine up here. What kind of shrine is a frost shrine? Let's just go ahead and dash through his enemies and grab that. Fire trap, I don't need that. We'll kill this guy just to get whatever minor amount of experience it might give, which gave me like half a bar, so that's pretty decent. A diamond shrine too, nice. Alright, well we're in business with these shrines here. And we've already found the second aspirant's trial, so we got pretty lucky with which exit we found there. And let's, I don't really see any reason to deposit those into my stash just yet, so let's just jump right into the second Izaro fight. This is pretty nice. We're only like, what, 10 minutes into this episode already fighting the second Izaro? It's pretty awesome. What's this guy? Is this an actual enemy here? Oh yeah, he is Lieutenant of the Mace. Okay, well we'll take him out for sure. Be a little bit careful, because Izaro can deal some damage to me. And I don't want to get wiped out by anything stupid, that's for sure. So I'm thinking I am going to be doing a Frenzy Charge Raider, using Onslaught and phasing at the same time if I can manage it through all the different Ascendancy options and everything. Because it just seemed to work really good last time. When I did it in the Turmoil race, Frenzy was awesome. I didn't get to play with phasing because I never made it that far, but that seems to be like something that'll give me pretty significant defensive boost at the end of the day. Because I don't know exactly what phasing does, but it seems to be a defensive like aura or something that you can acquire. I'll probably look that up before next episode or before we get phasing to find out exactly what it does. But there's one of the Ascendancies I think makes it so you're immune to status ailments when you or elemental status ailments when you have phasing as well. So that would be really nice for my character and allow me to survive things a lot easier. And then you don't take ignite damage and stuff like that as well. We have the dart traps here, which I usually hate, and we're just going to try and dash through them as quickly as I can without taking too much damage. I don't know if there's going to be anything at the end of this rope here, or into the path. It seems to be just another area. Just trying to figure out the new layouts of these places, if there's anything really different, or if it's just kind of the same random setup kind of deal. But we have a strong box here. Might as well just crack that open and see what's inside of it. It does seem like they've changed the lab a little bit in terms of like what's in the little rooms and everything that you can find, because getting that curious lockbox in the last one was pretty neat. So it might actually be more worth it now to explore all the different rooms, because there will be more to gain from them. But I'd probably have to take my time and actually explore through and see what we're looking for here. So this one leads me up there, which leads to 2 other ones, and one of them seems to be to the next aspirant's trial. So I'm thinking the optional areas have more significance in the new lab, because there used to be tons of them, and it was like sometimes you just wanted to make sure you didn't take the wrong path, you just wanted to get through the lab. And that seems a little easier now. I'm missing my golem again, so we'll summon him. He doesn't seem to be doing too well in this current life. I think he does need to gain some levels too before he'll be a little tankier. Let's just dash through and see if we could make it to the trial. Oh man, I'm just getting this lag where I just get pulled back, and I don't know if that's something to do with my latency or something to do with my computer or just something to do with the servers in general. But hopefully it gets fixed, or I figure out some way to fix it in the future. It looks like there's a path here. Oh, I touched something and it opened the door. I don't even know what I touched or how I did that, but I'll have to look at that next time I see something like that. Get those mitts, just because they're rare. Oh, and we got, okay, maybe I should have put something in the stash. I didn't think I'd be picking up all this stuff. Let's get rid of that grinning fetish there, because I don't think I'll really need that. Take that guy out, and what do we got here? Oh, we got the Mysterious Dark Shrine. Pursuit of power can be a grotesque affair. Death doesn't wait. Does that give me some kind of debuff here? No, it doesn't look like it. I wonder what that's gonna do for the run here. Because I know that all the little dark shrines have like mysterious effects that you might not be able to pick up on right away, but I don't recognize that one. So hopefully that's not something that's just gonna be like, you suddenly only have like 2 minutes left to die or something like that. Is this the effect? Players in Labyrinth will be affected by the Impenetrable Shrine? Is that what I have going on? Or is that just because of Shrine I touched? I'll have to wait and see if this buff goes away. It doesn't have a timer on it. It seems to just be a permanent thing, so hopefully that's just the effect of the Dark Shrine, and I'm now just a little tankier than I was before. I'm hoping that's what it was. I'm sad I had noticed my buffs before I clicked on that thing. I would have probably been able to figure that out. But either I'm right or I'm totally wrong. I have no idea. We found the final trial. So let's jump right in. Hopefully kill Izaro, get our Ascendancy, and then we can get a move on. So let's definitely deposit some stuff right now. Let's just go to tab 4 and just throw all of it in there so I can just address that later on when we have some more time. But I don't think we're going to have too tough of a fight with Izaro unless he one-shots me, which I don't think is going to happen because I got my new Impenetrable Shrine, I got Fortify and Maim, so let's try and make better use of using the Fortify and Maim setup, and try and remember to keep Fortify up, keep Maim up to get that additional damage. And I am proccing a little bit of the Onslaught just with one of my talents, I believe, gives me a chance to proc Onslaught when on kill, and that's pretty nice. I might change that around in the future, just because, you know, if I have a more consistent way to get Onslaught, then I won't be needing that random proc chance on kill. Ooh, got wool shoes, right on. I don't think these are actually really good for me, but nice to find either way. And nothing else really exciting, but yeah, there's Izaro. We got Lieutenant of the Bow here. I'm gonna bonk him down just in case he gives me some experience or something. He did give me pretty decent experience. That was worth it. And now we go into the Ascendancy Chamber, and we have 2 keys. I'm just gonna pick 2 and see what happens. Got some Silk Slippers with 4 sockets, an Imp Dagger. Oh my gosh, this one just doesn't stop dropping stuff. Alright, well this is quite a bit of items, and some cool stuff it looks like. Ancient Swords. Oh my gosh, it's too much for me to pick up. Well, there's a stash right here, so I'm just gonna go back to the same tab and throw everything in there. I probably won't deal with all those items in this episode. I might come back and do that another time, just not to bore you guys with it, because there's a whole bunch of loot to go through. But I will pick up this stuff here, grab that one. Oh, that's a 2-handed sword. I don't really care about that one. And Portal Scroll. Yeah, I think that's about all I really care about there. And no more keys, so we'll throw that stuff all in there. And I will come back and deal with that later. But let's ID this for now. So these are the Wanderlust shoes, which give movement speed, dexterity, can't be frozen, all good stuff. But I don't think they're going to be better for me than these ones. I do like those boots, but I just don't think that they're right for me right now. If I'd found those when I was like level 1 or something like that, they would have been fantastic. Especially with the tri-socket like that, but I'm probably not going to use those. A pair of gloves. I do like these gloves, so I might as well use them on these gloves. Word of War on kill. I don't know what Word of War does, unless... I don't think that's the one I got on my other character that was pretty awesome, but we'll see what that does when we start killing some stuff. And we are going to take Raider, because Pathfinder looks cool. Like, you get all these different flask bonuses, and you get a chance to like poison with some of them. Gain flask charge when you crit, removes bleeding on all flask uses, you can be immune to things. It's just a really cool looking build, but I really don't know enough about Pathfinder and the way the flasks work in order to really maximize the effect I could get from this. So I'm going to go with a Raider, because then we get the Way of the Poacher to get frenzy charges, and we can really just start going off with all the different frenzies. So let's ascend to a Raider, and bam! So we get our first choice here. We can get Onslaught on kill for 3 seconds, Quartz Infusion for the phasing, or Way of the Poacher. And we're definitely going to go with Way of the Poacher, because getting those frenzy charges going is going to be pretty critical to our build. We can also get this one, Avatar of the Slaughter, next time for even better frenzy madness and fun times. So there we go. That's the first Labyrinth down. We have to get to like level 55 and complete a few more trials in order to get the next one. But we'll be doing that after Act 4. Probably, I don't know what time we'll get to level 55. Possibly Act 6, I would guess. Depending, or based on how things are going right now, because I'm 36 now, I'll probably be close to 40 by the time we finish Act 4, and then Act 5 I'd guess we get to about level 50, so I'd say Act 6 is probably where we'll end up doing the other lab and getting our other Ascendancies. But now that I have the Frenzy Raider set up, I am going to be taking the other Frenzy nodes in the passive skill tree, because there's one that I'm pretty close to down in the duelist section down here, Let's take a quick look here. This one's savagery, so I'll go down here, come up, grab these ones, and grab these ones, and then we'll also grab this one right here next to my jewel socket, and that'll be pretty awesome, I think. Hopefully it works out. Let's just blast through this area. These places are, or at least Kaum's Dream is always so huge. I'm just going to try and run through and ignore most everything on my way through, and hopefully that doesn't get me killed or something at some point. I think we'll be fine though. But I do have to kill a few enemies in order to keep my run super fast flasks going. But my weapons were feeling pretty strong, you know, about 4 or 5 levels ago, but they're starting to feel like they might be falling off a little bit, so it might be worthwhile for me to invest in some new weapons pretty soon, if I get lucky with my finds. Since it's solo self-owned, you can't really count on anything, and I may end up having to do a little bit of farming to try and get some new equipment, or using those awesome recipes that I've been hearing about to just roll like rustic sashes with what do you use that, like a whetstone sash and a weapon, like a white weapon, and you can create like a plus physical damage item, which that's basically all you need if you really want to just rely on scaling to increase your damage through like Herald of Ash and Hatred and everything, because they all scale. And just getting like plus physical damage is always a nice bonus. Let's take out this champion group and all these totems here. Take a little bit of damage. You can see I'm already up to like 3 frenzy charges, and it just lets my character just go ballistic. And I really enjoy that. And getting them on kill and on hit and everything is just awesome. I can't wait to get the new next level frenzy stuff. And I would like to try like other versions of a melee ranger, and I'll definitely be doing that down the line. But I never got to fully explore this version of it, and so that's why I've decided to kind of follow the same strategy as I did before. Let's see, is that a one-handed? No, it's a two-handed. Just bonk that guy down. There we go. But yeah, I need to get some better gem slots and some things. I haven't seen what Word of War yet does. Let's see if I can figure that out here, killing these guys. I don't know if it does like a little explosion. Oop, I dash out of that because the game tried to work me back there. I don't really see anything just yet. I'm not quite sure if it's like an explosion maybe it does AoE damage. I'll probably have to look up what Word of War does, since it doesn't seem to have any obvious animation or anything like that, any visual cue as to what's going on. I don't see myself gaining any real big buffs or anything from using it. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. If you guys know, you can let me know, or I'll just look it up in between episodes here. Let's take this guy out, and I don't think these dreams will take us very long to complete, because we're just dashing through. There we go, got a level up there. Bonk this guy down. And yeah, hoping to get like a 4 to 5 socket armor that I can basically throw some good setups in for my gems and everything, because right now it's getting kind of tough to work with what I got. Oh, this is that torch oak grove with all his little sapling friends. So let's just bonk him down and be a little bit careful. Make sure we try and remember to use whirling blades. Oh, we got unique amulets. That's 2 uniques in one episode. That's kind of unheard for me, honestly. I don't usually get that lucky. These guys are all getting like tons of frenzy charges here. Group frenzy on death. Oh, okay. So every time something dies, these guys all get super frenzied. So that's good to know. But we managed to evade most of their fireball death going on there. What's this guy? He's a volcanic golem. Okay, I don't know. Oh, I do remember these guys. They just look kind of funny when they're champions. Alright, we should be getting close to the end, I would imagine. Herald of Ash leveled up. That's always nice to see. You know, I never actually got a gem to level 20 in my other playthrough. I think I had like level 19 or 18 gem, but I never got to get one to level 20. I was kind of disappointed about that. I was really sad that I didn't get to go as far as I wanted in my first Path of Exile Let's Play. So in this one we're going to be making sure that we achieve all the goals I set out, or at least most of them. Because I got pretty close with, you know, completing the game and everything in the last one, but I didn't get to kill Malachai because I just ran out of time. The season actually, or the league actually ended like way before I thought it was going to. I thought we had a few more days, but by the time I found out that it was ending, it was already like it's ending within 12 hours kind of deal. And I was like, oh man, you know, I didn't have time at that moment to really jump in and flesh out all the things I wanted to do and play and make some recordings. So hopefully we'll achieve all that going forward here. That's my goal. I do have a little bit of time away from my computer and stuff coming up, so I'm gonna try and get. There might be a few recordings that I'm gonna do between, like, before I go, because I'll be away for a little while. So hopefully I'll have everything scheduled and up for you guys. And so if you leave me comments and everything and I don't reply right away, or, you know, I might disregard your advice for a few episodes or something like that, it'd just be because I'm recording in advance, which unfortunately I have to do quite often to make this happen for you guys, which I don't mind. I just feel bad that I can't, you know, respond same day kind of stuff in between episodes, but, you know, comments away, and I'll integrate changes. We can always refund things and make changes as we go forward. But if you're watching this in the future, then this isn't even relevant to you. But you can leave comments anyway. I might still be playing this game years from now. Who knows? I hope to be, actually. I really enjoy this game, and you know, they just came up with an expansion now, so I don't think I'll be running out of things to do in this game for quite some time. Alright, Whirling Blades level up, and let's see. We're already like a quarter of the way to the next level. Levels just go by so fast in the current setup. Man, these frenzy charges just really make the attack speed just go nuts. And when you have Onslaught on top of it, it's just crazy. Can't wait to get the other Ascendancy that makes it so Onslaught's effect is doubled. And that's just like, what? Like, I think it gives like 40% attack speed and 20% movement speed or something like that. Like, already. So getting that doubled is like, what? That's just insane. And then having more permanent Onslaught buff, it's like, heck yes. That just sounds fantastic, right? On top of having Frenzy and everything, that's just powerful and just awesome. I feel like we're approaching Calm. I feel like we're getting close, because usually these winding paths end up leading to his little camp or whatever he has going on there. Bam, got that guy down. Actually, you know, I was just complaining about weapons a little earlier, but now that I have the Ascendancy and everything, I'm feeling pretty strong once the attack speed starts rolling. So we got our golem still up. Or no, I had like a little sword, that's what it was. Okay, that must be Word of War. I must summon little swords on kill every now and then. Ooh, that was close. Alright, let's run away a little bit. You know, I'm gonna drop the portal, just in case something bad happens. My resistances aren't great, like I said. And yeah, hopefully he just doesn't take me out with any kind of stupid big hits. I could also update my flasks. I think they're not perfectly where they should be. And this fight gets a little bit ridiculous with all the fire damage and raging spirits and everything that gets summoned, but thankfully my AoE is pretty decent. There we go. Took that down. Oh, speaking of flasks, let's get that Sacred Life Flask there. Oh, I can actually, those Word of War things I summon actually get frenzy charges too, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so back into Highgate, and then we'll just go back to the Crystal Veins and deal with Teresa's Dream. Then we just have to go through Malachai's dungeon, which can be pretty long, so if it ends up taking too long or I'm running around too much, I'll probably make a cut and jump forward a little bit. Let's see, 49 health. This one's actually a little bit better. I don't get the cold resist, but the stats are just better in general. So let's just switch that up, because I'm not really using the sockets that come with that. If that was a 4 socket, I'd be really happy about that, but it's not. So this is definitely a better flask for me right now. And let's see. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to use this one. New random property, removes burning. I'm cool with that. Alright, let's run over here. Just square up really quickly, sell some stuff. Boom. Alright, and back to adventure. Actually, I forgot to ID this amulet. Let's see. Extractor Mentis Agate Amulet. Ooh, Unholy Might, Onslaught. Grant Onslaught to nearby enemies on kill. That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. And you recover life on kill. So you can sometimes buff your enemies when you kill them. Let's go ahead and use that, actually. Because I don't think now that I have intelligence from this thing, and this thing does give me a little bit of intelligence and lots of strength, we'll try it out. We'll definitely try it out. I'm not sure how I feel about buffing my enemies, though. But I wonder, what's the strategy behind this amulet? Like, is it just a 5% chance to gain those things on kill so powerful that they have to give you the other side to it, where you can sometimes buff your enemies? Or is there some kind of thing where it's like, if your enemies have these buffs, then you can become stronger based on that? I'm really not certain. kind of confused on why it works that way, but there's usually a reason for everything when it comes to this kind of stuff. So maybe that's key. Ooh, do I have bleed going on? I think I had a bleed there. I'm a little bit careful, because I do tend to die to bleeds. It's usually one of my weaknesses, is bleeds always catch me by surprise, so I'm trying to get better at that. But okay, so these guys just group frenzy on death, so that's not me responsible for that, and that's fine. I guess that the danger of having the 5% chance to buff your enemies is if you're fighting a boss and you accidentally kill, or not accidentally, but if you kill the little minions around and they proc that thing, then you'll be granting your enemies a big boss a buff, like a nasty buff. Because does it even say? It just says it grants it to them on kill, so I don't even know how long it would last for. Is it like a permanent buff for them? Because that would suck. That might actually be a really bad amulet. I'm not sure. But we'll see how it goes. If I ended up dying to my amulet buffing my enemies, then that would be no fun. But we'll see how it goes. Cool to find a unique anyways. Especially in solo self-found. Because you can't always guarantee that you're going to find something cool, let alone anything at all, right? Two uniques in this episode so far, and one of them pretty decent. I do like those other shoes. I just wish I found them sooner. The Wanderlust shoes, that is. Yeah, I like the Resto's Dream because you just get a lot of areas like this which have like guaranteed champion packs and stuff like that, and it's just like you can just get tons of experience just by walking into these things. I'm probably gonna hit level 38 pretty soon. Yeah, I'm 37 right now. So probably like 1 or 2 more little rooms like this full of these guys, and I'll be hitting 38 and making pretty decent progress. With the attack speed bonus on Frenzy and everything, it's almost like you don't need faster attack support on Whirling Blades because you can already do it so quickly. But then again, you don't always have the buffs up, so especially when you're just trying to travel around. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so now we have Barkle and a whole bunch of, holy smokes, I just got completely wiped out there. That was brutal. I don't think I had my golem up, so that's probably part of the problem. I am actually just gonna use my dash to get through a whole lot of this traveling here, because I don't have my auras on, and when you don't have your auras on, you can just spam your spells as much as you want. So I think we only have like 2 more turns to go through here. I think, no, this isn't the room I died in, it was just 1 more up here. So just dash, 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 but you still get that little window of opportunity to use Whirling Blades, I think, before you're supposed to be, like before your like cooldown from using it happens there. Alright, so let's actually put down a portal and get my buffs up, boop, boop, and get my golem. There we go. Alright, let's jump back in. I'm actually just going to dash through all these guys, try and maim and get my fortify up, and just keep it up, because I don't want to get dunked like that again. Everything's getting frenzied. I wonder if I'm buffing these guys. These guys all have group frenzy on death. Like, that's such a pain in the butt mechanic, because like, no matter what I do, I'm just always making my enemies stronger. Okay, well, there we go. Now where's... Oh, I guess I already killed the big guy. Alright, well, let's take this rapier here and check it out. Well, that's pretty good damage. Increased attack speed, but no linked sockets, so I can't really take advantage of it yet. See, that's the problem. I keep finding pretty decent equipment, but I'm having a lot of trouble getting the right sockets on it. So I'll probably end up doing like a lot of re-rolling with my gems and whatnot. Oh yeah, I did get a engineer orb too from one of the Harbingers. I got enough shards to make it, and it increases the quality of a strongbox. And I don't know, like, is that a new mechanic? Because I've never seen a strongbox that had quality on it before. Like, it's just like improving the quality of an item. So I wonder if improving the quality of a strongbox improves the quality of loot or difficulty, or like what exactly you would use it for, because it seems like you would need quite a few of them in order to get a strongbox to like 20% quality or something, which, you know, you might want to save those to use on a unique strongbox or something like that. Just take out these guys here. So yeah, I really don't know what the purpose behind that is, but hopefully we'll find out as we go along. There might be some really cool strongboxes I haven't seen later in the game that those are important for, so we'll see. But next time I head back to town, I'll show you guys that orb, because it's pretty interesting. But so far we've got a few of these little areas full of gladiator arenas, or whatever I guess they are called here, to go through, and then we'll fight Duresso, and then we're moving on. So bonk, bonk, bonk. I'm not gonna bonk all of them, just take down a big group of them and take down a unique guy, because they're always worth some decent XP. And then we'll just mosey on. There we go. To the next passageway. I like Duresso's Dream because it's full of like tough champion enemies that you can get a lot of XP from, and there's really like no downsides to it as far as I can tell. See, like this guy, I can just maim him, bonk him down. Same with this guy. Just get my fortify up, bonk, 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 bonk. They're all dead. Just that easy. Alright, well, let's go into the next passageway. So I think the next one is Duresso himself. And I don't think he's too tough of a fight. Oh, we got a Harbinger here. That's awesome. Oh, gotta be careful though, because I haven't fought Harbingers in here yet. It might be a little tougher than I'm expecting. Plus, I got all these regular enemies everywhere. Oh, get back here. There we go. Alright, take these guys down. Take that field laminar. How much socks does that have? 4, but they're all linked. I might end up rolling that with a alchemy orb or something like that. See if I can make a decent armor piece. And because it's got some good sockets on it. I would like if it had 5, but asking for a 5 when I get this point in the game is a little bit extreme. Yeah, green with 2 reds and a blue. I might be able to do something with that. Take our shards here. I actually have like 4 chaos orbs now too, so that's pretty awesome. And there we go, the Ring of Blades. Let's make sure I got my my stone golem there. And here we go, fighting Duresso. He's not usually too tough, as I say, as I just about get dunked by all of his damage. But I gotta make sure to keep that maim and fortify going. It's pretty important. That's why it makes me tempted to put fortify on my what would you call it? My main attack, because then I don't have to worry so much about keeping it up. But it's also just, you know, it's more effective and worthwhile to have it on Whirling Blades, because it doesn't take a whole lot to keep it up. You just gotta remember to press the button every 5 seconds or whatever. And you can actually dash like on top of the character, so then you don't have to worry about the movement involved. And faster attack speed will make the recovery better too. There we go. And I wonder, like, does anybody make a build where you just use Whirling Blades? Or like dash abilities? Like, I've seen some people using Lightning Orb to great effect for certain character builds. But I'm wondering, could you make just like a whirling dash build where you just whirling dash through everything and apply like lots of poisons or something like that and just deal tons of damage that way? I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, deerskin boots as well? Are you serious, game? This is just ridiculous. And those are the Deerstalker boots, which give supported by level 11 trap. So if I was playing a trap ranger, these would be fantastic. This would be one of the best things I could have ever found on a solo self-found ranger. But let's see, they get movement speed, health, evasion rating, and they improve your trap throwing speed. You get movement speed after throwing a trap. So I really feel bad for not using traps right now, because those are fantastic. I might have to figure out some way, if there's a trap I could use somehow, then that might be something I could consider doing. That helmet has decent resistances. Well, not amazing actually. I thought the light radius was more resistant, so I'm actually going to throw that on the ground there. And there's an eel skin tunic, but only 1 socket, and I am just done with bad socket items, honestly. I gotta move towards some better socket stuff. So let's clear some room here. Let's just get rid of that and that, because I can't really make use of them. Actually, I thought that was a 4-link, but it's not. So we're gonna sell that too. Actually, no, I think I just picked up for that. I was thinking of this item, the field laminar, so probably gonna do something with that at some point. Actually, you know what? Since we're here, let's just go ahead and do it. Boom. That's not that amazing. Let's see. I lose fire resistance, but I gain... actually lose health too. I gain better evasion rating and armor, so I think it is worth it to change that up. But it's still not going to work with the current colors on it. Can I reroll those colors and get lucky? Can I get 2 greens? Yeah, 2 greens. There we go. 2 greens, 2 reds. That's actually pretty good. So let's put melee splash support. And I need to get melee physical damage support as well. That would really help my damage, which I don't think I have one actually. I can't remember where you buy that. Let's just take a quick look at the gem vendors. I think it's probably... actually, can we just go to the library and talk to Siosa? I think that might be his name. Or Sioso? Something like that. Let's go see him though, because he usually has a whole bunch of gems and he might just have the thing that I need. I might have... oh, Siosa, that's what it is. Alright, so let's just type in... oh, purchase items. Just go here and melee. Oh, fizz. There we go. Let's see, it's probably somewhere around here. Melee physical damage support, 1 orb of alteration. I have one of those. Boom, there we go. So now we have the melee splash, melee physical damage, onslaught. Oh, that's what I was getting it from. It's from a skill gem. That's what the onslaught is from. Okay, well, you know what? I don't really think, 35% chance of that onslaught for 8 seconds. I'm just going to switch that up with faster attack support, because I'm going to have better ways to get onslaught going forward, and I don't really think that that gem is too amazing for me. Let's see, let's just throw it, let's just level it up though. Let's, why not? Just in case, maybe it'll be good later on. Let's head back to town here, and I will put these in the bag just because I don't know what to do with them yet, but man, am I glad to have found those. I might have to change some stuff up and make something different, but I don't really know what you would do with traps doing a melee raider. Like, is there a certain kind of setup or a certain kind of trap that would be really useful? I'm honestly not certain on what would be the best for that situation. Let's see, we got to put that stuff in the bank. We got unbound ailments there. So let's see, where are my gems? Where are my gems? There we go. Alright, so let's jump back into the crystal veins, and we're good to go. So let's talk to Diala, and she'll do her thing and use up all our powers, and we can go into the belly of the beast there. Oh, I guess the door opened already before she even completed doing what she was doing. So, let's see. The episode's going to about 40 minutes now, and I wonder, should I make a cut and just jump forward a bit? Because I don't think there's anything too exciting you guys are going to see in here, but they may have changed some stuff, so let's just run forward and just see. There's a spider enemy I just saw a second ago before I blew her up into oblivion. Seems pretty cool. So there might be some new kinds of enemies and stuff here. Let's see, take her out. We still got the eye hatcheries. They're not very exciting, but they're still very annoying. Let's see. Yeah, these guys. What is this? Stygian Revenant? Or Stygian? Stygian? I can never remember how to say that word. I remember seeing it in Diablo 2 all the time, and I should probably know by now how to say it, because I've been involved in the RPGs that have that word for so long. I don't know why, there's certain words that just, when I see them, it's like I want to know what that word is, and I want to look it up and know how to pronounce it and everything. And I'm really a big fan of, words and grammar and everything, and the meaning of words and the use of words. But then when it comes to things like this, I'm just like, meh, I'll just keep being wrong about it forever. I don't know why. I remember the first time I learned what cognitive dissonance is. That's one of my favorite terms. And if you don't know what that is, it's been oh man, it's gonna be so hard to explain. It's like when what you're expecting and what's actually no, you know what? I'd have to look up the thing again. The explanation for it, or the definition, because it's been so long since I actually used it that I don't remember what it means, but I just remember that I love that term. So I feel bad, I'll have to look that up for next episode, because I feel like a derp now, being like, I love this word, but I don't know what it means. I don't know. It's whenever I sit down to record, it seems like everything that I've known or remembered before just goes right out the window, and I just completely lose like all knowledge and all ability to communicate effectively with you guys. So I apologize. I sound like a derp over here. Let's take out the Bone Queen. Just smacking her down like crazy. Bonk, 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 bonk. And she didn't give me anything except some XP, which is nothing to ever laugh at. Let's head down here. We got a shrine coming up. Superior projectile weakness. Definitely going to take that to make those gem cutter prisms and start leveling up some gems. We got a lightning shrine here and a whole bunch of dudes. Oh my gosh, get me out of there. Give me the fortify. There we go. That was just insane. Oh my gosh. So many enemies. Wow. That was just bonkers. Alright, take this guy down. Boom. To be honest, playing around with Charge Dash, I actually realized I was a little bit mistaken in the way that I thought it worked. It doesn't really have anything to do. Well, it does. It scales really strangely. Like, it scales with faster attacks and slower movement speed. I mean, you could still use higher movement speed to, like, it's just weird. I'll just have to figure it out exactly how it works before I dive into explaining that one to you guys. Because I thought when I used the onslaught thing and it made me go faster, that it was scaling with attack speed, but obviously onslaught gives movement speed too. But there's like the amount of attacks that you can get per use of it depends on how slow your movement speed is or how fast your attack speed is. And there might be some really cool setups to make like a really powerful charge dash build if you take all the appropriate stats and everything and make good use of it. Because if you can make it go, that thing seems to do pretty decent damage. We have a Harbinger here, that's what's going on. All this blue fire is always a sign that you're dealing with a Harbinger. I'm wondering what kind of enemies we'll be fighting against in the future from these Harbingers, because you're supposed to get some pretty cool items from them. Well, maybe not supposed to, but you have a chance to get some pretty cool stuff. So, we'll see how that goes when we get to it. So we gotta go find the beast, and which means we gotta find piety and all the other cool stuff. So probably what I'll do is I will run through here and, you know, find piety, do that part of the quest, and then when she brings us into the next area and we have to find all the different parts, maybe what I'll do is I'll just you know, make little cuts in between finding all those guys, because there's so many of them and they're all over the place, and these dungeons can be a little bit sprawling, so it might be more effective to do that, more time efficient, I suppose, in terms of the episode, because I don't want to let these episodes go too terribly long. And when we start doing the new content, I might kind of keep it closer to half an hour to 45 minutes, which is basically where it's been right now, but sometimes we get a little bit longer. But I might end up just trying to keep it a little closer to half hour. We'll see. We'll see. I never have a solid plan in mind as I'm going forward here, because you never know what you're going to run into, right? So let's go over to the dexterity node, and then get a move on so I don't get killed by all these different enemies hanging around here. And pop that flask. Just trying to keep a lot of the quicksilver charges going. That's why I take some time and bonk these guys here. Because one of the tips I read for fast leveling was that you never want to stop moving, so I've been trying to practice that, trying to just take out the groups with lots of experience so that when we get a chance to do some more races in the future, I'll have a better grasp of what's going on and what I should be doing. And taking those steps backwards is never a good thing. I gotta get more accurate with my clicks there. That would be a good thing to improve as well. I wonder if there's a way to level your gems without actually clicking on the arrow on the right there, if there's a better, faster way to do it, or if there's just like auto gem level up. I know there's some gems that you don't want to level up, like cast when damage taken. You want to keep that one at like a lower level so you get more casts on it, because it takes, I think, less HP or something like that. But I don't know if they've changed that or anything, because that seems kind of like not really noob friendly. If it's better to keep it at a lower level than at a higher level. It's like maybe somebody who is just playing this game for the first time trying a build like that might not understand or be able to figure out that, like, oh, you know, I should just you know, keep this one level 1 so that I have a better, more effective cast when damage taken kind of deal. Oh, gotta get my golem up. Didn't realize he went down. He goes down so easily, but he will be kind of helpful. Let's just run around, make sure we don't get dunked by that laser beam. That thing is kind of painful, and it has killed some characters of mine before, so I'm trying to avoid that. Bonk, 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 bonk. And now that she's dead, we'll head into the next area, and then that's when I'm going to start making those little cuts in between all the different little baddies we have to fight for the different organs and whatnot. So here we are on the harvest, and I'm going to see you guys when I get to one of those dudes we have to fight. So I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, here we are at Shavron's arena, so let's jump in and deal with her. In between my little run to her arena here, I did look up the cognitive dissonance again, so I can actually explain that to you guys, so I feel kind of stupid. So basically, it's like when you have, you know, what you believe and what you observe can contradict one another, or like what you desire and what you can have contradict one another. There's lots of different examples, but one of the examples that probably makes the most sense, I'm going to try not to die here and run back to town really quick, is called the fox and the grapes, where there's some grapes in a tree, and this fox wants to eat them, but, ooh, okay, alright, well, that just happened. So the fox wants to eat the grapes in the tree, but he can't reach them, so, you know, because he's, you know, stressed out that he can't reach the things that he wants to eat, instead he has to justify, you know, the grapes aren't worth it, basically. So he says, you know, oh, the grapes are sour, I don't want to eat those grapes, so that, you know, he no longer feels bad that he can't achieve what he desires. So It's basically just when you have two things conflicting with one another in terms of your beliefs and your reality kind of deal. And there's lots of different examples of like politics and all kinds of other things that can be applied to that kind of situation. And it's actually, I think there's a, you know, it's one of those things when you can make someone believe that they're getting something when they're not actually getting what they might believe. So an example for that in being a salesman, if you're a salesman, this might be something you already know, is that if you, like let's say you approach someone and you say, like say in your mind you want to sell an apple, and to you that apple is worth $10. But in order to get that $10, you're going to tell someone that you'll sell it to them for $20. And they're going to come back and say, no, I'm not going to give you $20 for an apple, I'll give you $10. And so you'll say, oh, of course, of course, yeah, that sounds fair, I'll take an apple for $10, or I'll sell my apple for $10. And, so to them, they're believing, oh, okay, I'm getting a deal, because normally this guy sells it for $20, but I'm getting it for $10, so I'm getting a sweet deal. But in fact, the reality is that you're getting exactly what you want from them. So the dissonance for them is that they think they're getting a deal when in fact you already went ahead and preemptively set up the situation so that you're going to get what you desire, and they're going to not feel like cheated or like they're getting a bad deal or anything. Because if you approach someone, you say apple for $10, they might come back, I'll give you $8, I'll give you $5, and at that point you're losing out on what it is that you desire, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Did I forget an item back here? Yeah, totally. Oh no, that's my town portal back there. Wasn't quite sure what that icon was supposed to represent. So let's see, what area am I missing here? I think I have to go north at this point, or northeast is this one? Yeah, this is the direction. Alright, so I don't think it's too far up here, so maybe we'll just keep chatting while we make a run up here. I keep losing my my golem though. He's not doing so good. I'm definitely gonna have to get him a better setup so that he lives for a while, because not having my golem up is definitely noticeable when I start taking tons of damage. I don't regen quite as much, and I don't have him to kind of absorb some of the hits that these guys otherwise deliver. I don't know if I'll always be using a golem. There might just be like better things to put skill slots in, but I really can't think of what that would be. Let's take that rustic sash in case we need to use it for some crafting there. This is Dark Lord, eyeball there. Let's see, we have his, what is it, the monument or whatever? There we go, it's way up there. And we already have the piety found with the waypoint there, so we can just run back over and go fight Malachai when we're done here. So let's see, this is Deodri, and she's got all the curses everywhere, so be a little bit careful with her here. You don't want to stand in the wrong curses, there are too many curses. I want to stay out of that purple one. I think that's the one that gives me slowed attack speed, which I really don't like. So let's just stand in this corner and just hope that she doesn't do anything crazy and just keep bonking the hell out of her. So far, so good. She doesn't seem to be changing up her curses. I wonder if that happens every time she like walks over her own circles or something like that. Malachai's lungs. We're actually just going to take a faster way to get back to the waypoint. No sense doing all the running back there. So here we are at the harvest, and let's talk to Piety, and, oh, did I miss the organs or something? Okay, no, it was just a little delayed there. So here we are, fighting Malachai, all the way at the end of Act 4, we finally made it. And we still haven't gone back to town to get our rewards for the other stuff, or checked out those items from the Labyrinth, so might have some upgrades before the next episode here. Let's see. I don't remember if we start bunking Malachai first, that's right. As far as bosses go, like Malachai is dangerous, but I think I've actually had the least amount of trouble with him compared to like basically every other boss in the game, I think. But as I say that, he's dealing tons of damage to me right now. I might be a little unprepared for this. Holy smokes, yeah. I don't think I need to put a portal down, but I'm going to do it anyway. And yeah, let's get my auras up here. Oh, I lost one somehow. There we go. Okay, back to bonking on Malachai here. Just gotta make sure we stay out of the direct path of a lot of his abilities. That kind of makes a big impact. Oh my gosh, that corpse explosion is brutal. Okay, well that's. I apologize, guys. I didn't expect to be just getting dunked this hard after I just finished saying that this is one of the easier guys that I've fought before. But I think it's because he had a whole bunch of those minions eventually stand around him, and I just stood in the middle of all those exploding corpses. There we go, Black Heart. So let's throw a portal down. Because you never know, and I'm trying to get better about remembering that, because it seems to be a pretty important part of doing these fights. But I'm just so used to not doing that, because in Diablo 2, I think that there was a mechanic. I can't confirm this. I can't say this is 100% true, because I'm not actually sure. Let's head back to town and just get my flask back. But I heard and I researched, and I assume that this is the case. But when you put down a portal in an area, it would actually reduce the magic find possibility for that area to 0. And I don't know if that was just for bosses or for everyone in general. But it was kind of really disappointing. You know, you'd go and jump into a boss room, put a portal down to fight them, and if you put that portal down, it just made all your efforts in regards to you know, increasing your magic find, just nullified them, right? So you're no longer able to gain a lot of like, sweet items, and that was just, so you never wanted to drop a portal in an area where you were going to be fighting something you hoped to get some items from. Okay, let's actually just warp back out again, just to clear all those corpses and traps and everything that were getting a little bit dangerous for me there. Alright, let's get back on Malachai here. I should summon my golem again. That would be a smart thing to do, especially since he's about to just start corpse exploding everywhere here. I haven't been using Whirling Blades. That's part of the problem. That's probably why I took so much damage and got just completely wiped out earlier. Because that is just such a massive impact on the survivability that I have. Let's take... Ooh, yep. I knew by standing in that attack I was just going to get wiped out. That was just not smart of me. So let's see. Put our buffs up. Dash back through. And just take out this Heart of the Beast. If I can do that before all of the other stuff starts killing me here. There we go. Now we can just get back on Malachai and bonk him for the rest of the fight here. And then we're done with Act 4. So I apologize for dying so many times. I haven't been playing as effectively as I could be. But there we go. That would be our good buddy Malachai. So let's try and get a cool shot here of him blowing up. There he is. He's gonna start getting all crunched up. And... boom. Oh. There we go. Oh, it's always so gross when he blows up. Poor guy. But he didn't give us anything cool. So let's head back to Highgate and turn the quests in. Actually, I'm just going to sell my shield and let's ID these boots, see if they're any good. Good fire resist, but nothing else I'm really looking for. And now we get to go talk to Diala, and she'll give us... I don't remember what she gives us. Oh, we got to talk to Susumi as well. I don't remember needing to talk to him. Access the ascent from... Oh yeah, because I guess there's more acts now, so it's not just like you go back into the next game now. So here we go. Dispel Echo, Multi-Strike, Greater Projectiles, Chain Support, or Increased Area of Effect. And I kind of want to take that one to work with the Melee Splash, but that might not be worth it. Plus I think Pat told me that you get... like if you increase the quality of this gem, it increases the radius of the splash, so that might just be a wasted gem. Spell Echo, I don't think I need that. Multi-Strike, that might be fun to play with. I'm actually going to take Multi-Strike support. I'll take that one. And Oyen has nothing to say, so yeah, now I think it looks like the path to the eastern side of Highgate, yeah, the ascent is right here. So I'm actually not going to click on that right now because I don't want to load into the new area and start that before I know what's going on with it. So I'll be doing that in the next episode. But yeah, so we got all of Act 4 done, we got the Labyrinth done, so we got an Asendancy, and let's say we're almost level 40. Yeah, like 1 bar away. So almost as I predicted. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.